All right, fine. I'll talk about the Israel and Hamas conflict. Of course, I knew very little about it before the Hamas attack on Israel. Now I know much more, but I'm trying not to just buy every story, because if the stories are contradictory, one side thinks that you took all my land, and then the other side thinks that you took my land. It's like, all right, who was there before Palestine then? Where are their ancestors? Are we supposed to fish them up too and then have them fight it out? Of course not. So there is something to be said about the landlines we create and the borders that stop people from crossing them. These are big world problems that need solving before we can call ourselves modern people. Okay? You're fooling yourself. Now, my position right now, as of, what the fuck is it, May 13th, 2024, on this conflict, however many months in, since October, is that if the Hamas health ministry says, and it's true, if it is true, which I imagine it is, I mean, I haven't seen evidence to the contrary, that over 14,000 children have been bombed to death or starved, that there's no justification for it. Sorry to burst your bubbles, people, but there is no justification for that. It's insanity. It's like, if you believe in God, which I fucking don't, but if you, well, I don't not. The way I think is quite complicated. So your idea of whatever God is I don't know if it's the same as mine right now. Anyway, so if you believe in that shit and you believe in good and bad and all those things, that's insanity. That's like, you're not getting into heaven if you believe that it's okay to bomb. It doesn't matter why the kids are bombed. It's irrelevant why. The fact that they are being bombed and have been bombed is the problem. Forget about why. Who gives a shit? Who cares why kids are bombed? So it's okay if the reason's good enough? No, of course not. That's the point. It's fucking insane, man. It's insane. It makes me fucking sick to be a human being, honestly. It makes me fucking sick. Like, if aliens came down and saw that we were bombing thousands, I mean, they might think, well, you got plenty of other kids to spare. What are you complaining about? It's 14,000. It's nothing. But that's a lot of fucking kids. The way I like to think of death is by piling up the bodies just in your mind. Just fucking pile them up right outside the door, you know? That's a gigantic pile of dead babies, dude. Or, you know, I guess, I don't know when a kid stops being a kid. What is it? 18-year-olds? So under 18 is whatever it is. Kids. Not babies, but not adults. Somewhere in the middle. That's a lot of those people. And that's not okay. I don't give a fuck who started it. He started it! Well, I'm gonna fucking blow you up then! It's like, okay, you ever do something stupid? You ever do something really stupid? Forget about that it wasn't one person. It was like, I don't know, 1,500. I forget. I don't know how many Hamas terrorists there were, actually. That's a good question. But, you know, forget about, like, why they did it for a second. I know they did it, but, like, I don't know if it really matters why. I mean, yeah, sure it matters why, because, like, to them it definitely matters why. They're pissed off because they feel like they've been in prison for 70 years or whatever it is in Gaza. But, you know, I think ultimately, whichever side you're on here in this conflict, which is ridiculous to even think you have a fucking side, that's the problem, honestly. That's where the problem starts. Whichever side you're on right now, what the fuck was my point? I lost my point. It happens all the time. Whichever side you're on right now, you have to understand that oppressed people and masters, or the 1%, or whatever you fucking call them, they have defining characteristics defined by other people. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's just we're habit thinking people. We draw conclusions, we find patterns in nature, and that's what we've done with people, with everything, with everybody. You know, we label them and they become this thing. And if you have people with labels that are like, from what I understand about the religion, it's like they're very close, like their belief systems are similar, but or maybe their belief systems aren't similar, but they both feel like they have claim to the land itself. And I mean, that is, sorry to say, but ridiculous. I mean, you have a claim to your, I'm sorry, man. Whenever you think you have, like, you will migrate. If your land fucking exploded and you couldn't live there anymore because it was radiated, you will leave. You're going to stay there and get radiation and die. Maybe a couple, but you're going to leave. You're going to migrate. We migrate. Humans migrate. That's what we do. And that's not a case for one group leaving and leaving the Holy Land. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the conflict itself has been going on for a long time, but not as long as it seems. Like 2,000 years is not a long time. In my view, the way I view existence. Now, if their conflict has been going on 70 years, I mean, it's going on longer, but, you know, the state of Israel and the occupation or the, you know, the land and whatever, the colonization and all that shit, that's 70 years is not a long time. Seems like a long time because it's like one lifetime. But if you just look past your own stinking little lifetime, you'll understand that 70 years is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Parrots live longer than 70 years. So, you know, where I am on this conflict is we cannot keep bombing people to death. Like, it's just not fucking, it's insanity. We need to stop. You're not defending yourself if, you know, you're on the playground and somebody throws something at you and then you fucking bomb them. Like, they threw something at you 8 months ago. Like, the issue is, when have you gotten them back? When Hamas is destroyed? I was in America in 9/11, and, you know, the hatred toward Muslims and Arabs and just anybody who looked like they lived on that side of the country or the world, I mean. You know, it was strong and pathetically strong. We were all just kind of pissed off. And that's what happened to Israel. They're pissed off. And I get it. I was pissed off after 9/11. I was pissed off. But, like, fuck me, dude. Fucking stop. That's insane. Stop. Okay, you can't stop until you kill all the Hamas. Okay. When the fuck does that stop? Okay, got the last one. Oh, I'm totally not Hamas. I'm not Hamas at all. I just wear this shirt that says Hamas really big on it. And I got a wallet with a Hamas card, a membership card. But I'm like, that's totally not mine. I'm just holding it for a friend. What are you going to do? What if I'm not Hamas, but what if I said I was? You're going to fucking kill me? Like, when does it end? When Netanyahu feels like he's not going to be in trouble after this. Right now, he's in trouble. He's in trouble for a lot of, like, you know, political and geopolitical reasons. But he's mostly in trouble. The way I think is very tribal and very like kind of Homo sapien. He's in trouble because there is no one in the leadership role in that country right now with a voice big enough to replace him. However, the people are pissed at him. So they want to replace him, but they won't wait to replace him. They will destroy him before he's replaced. He doesn't want to get destroyed. He would rather get replaced, trust me. It's much easier to be replaced because you just fade away and nobody cares about you anymore instead of fucking dragged out like Gaddafi. So that's clearly what he's doing. He's trying to get Hamas, but Hamas will, if it's a state of mind, I mean, then Colombia's fucking filled with Hamas kids, which is ridiculous. They're just fucking... People get upset. Israel got upset because they were attacked. Hamas got upset because they felt like they were being attacked by, I don't know if they were sanctioned or they were just basically quarantined. So I heard. So, ultimately, it's hard. I'm not picking a side because I think that's stupid to pick it's not a fucking game. I mean, yes, it is a game in the sense that if you're in like weapons manufacturing, then you are playing this game well because as long as you keep selling, as long as business is good, you're going to keep doing whatever it takes to keep business good. Duh. Like, come on. It's not a surprise. But I'm not in that. So I'm just a lowly comedian. So I think ultimately people and their sensibilities and their sensitivity to conflict is finite. It will end. It has an end. And the sooner this ends, the cleaner the tear off of the Band-Aid when it's all over. Because if this goes on, and we have elections and this and that, and it will get uglier and uglier, and people will get even more pissed because ultimately people want to be left alone. We don't like all this terrible news. We listen to it because we want to be informed, but we don't like it. We don't like drama. We don't like when the world is coming to an end. We don't like the feeling. We might like the thought. We don't like the feeling when it actually feels like it's happening. And the Israel-Hamas conflict is it's small in the sense of like geological time and the comings and goings of civilizations. It's a small issue, but in one's own life, it lasts many decades, and it's essentially just defining my whole life right now by the price of eggs and all this extra shit. No, not even talking about Russia and Ukraine. It's like it's defining our lives, and we're starting to get fucking sick of it. We're sick of it, but we're just what are we to do about it? Just gotta watch the news and. We're not going to Gaza to help. Nobody really is right now. But ultimately, if I were to be forced on a side, it would be on the side of just absolute, like the crying mothers. Everywhere. But in this case, in Gaza. Yes, in Israel as well. But in Gaza right now, there are plenty of crying mothers that just are living through fucking hell. And it needs to stop.